shopping and at a neighbor's house. So if you hear any Spanish novelas in the back, then you know what it is. So this is the third part of my series on the artist and the weight, the gift and the weight, and my third part of the weight. The syllabus that every group contains, I think that Twisted Tantrum highly illustrated this point, and I'm going to actually be, I'm going to be putting the link in my little information box, and shout out to the person who made Twisted Tantrum, hey. Being an NF especially, and not just being an NF, I think that there is no artistic license, you just have to be living. So you're struggling to be your truest self and at the same time acquiesce to the consensus of what the artist is. Others who are not content with themselves shoving down your cortex what it means to be an artist, what an artist is, and you feel as if you have to live up to expectations that aren't your own and that aren't of your creation. This is a time where I have to discuss what I mean by that. There could be someone who shares my mode of expression. Someone can buy a paintbrush, someone can buy a film, but just because you share my mode of expression doesn't necessarily mean that we're kindred spirits. It doesn't mean that we think along the same lines. I might have more in common with someone who's deaf or someone who's blind, someone who's illiterate than I might have with you. And so I don't think that I should have to define myself based on what the group's agenda is. Social compulsion amidst the misnomered group of individuals. Speaking out of the cave of a rancid, underdeveloped mouth. Telling you what your isolation is due to. Telling you what you're hiding from yourself. So many artists, especially male artists, have to deal with being called saying that they're sexually oriented somewhere else just because they're sensitive in a certain area, or females who are more strong and aggressive in a certain area and being named and titled, and there's just so much name calling back and forth. I think the interesting thing is that these stereotypes of the artist are really, I think, created externally, and I don't understand why the group themselves lives up to these expectations. And I'm not saying this generally, I'm saying that this is something that I'm seeing, that the artist can feel like they have to live up to whatever the stereotype is, even though we're kind of meant to transcend stereotypes. It happens. And so, well, I can put this down because this is where I want to speak from the heart. Artists have a pretty high suicide rate, second and third to dentists and special service agents of the government. And so it's almost as if I'm pleading for life, and I'm saying, don't allow anyone to tell you what your isolation is, what that feeling of awkwardness is. I think only when you search for it and you find what it is that really you feel isolates you from others or gives you that feeling of pressure or pain, and you examine it and not taking anyone else's admonitions. Monday? Okay. And I think only the artist can name the reason for their isolation. I wrote, designate this journey to someone else and you'll drown of your discontent. Alliteration. It wasn't meant to be, but I think that that's true. Monday? Leche? Karen? Okay. No importa. So I think of The Alchemist too, the book The Alchemist, and how he had to follow his stick with certain things without really going through with their journey. So I'll actually put a reference to The Alchemist too. And so this is the end. This is, by the way, not a gloom. You're an artist. You're sad. You're struggling. You're gonna die. It's not a gloomy thing. I think the point is that being an artist is a gift. You're digesting the universe, and you're putting forth. You're producing something that's poignant and something that's invisible. You're making tangible to the imagination. I think that it's amazing being an artist, and all the struggles contained. It's so beautiful at the top. It's gloriously uphill mostly. I won't dare deny that. But the gift is so much more significant and wonderful and poignant, because happiness can be poignant also.